Hey guys,
We all liked hearing about constant content.
so I thought I'd make a positive video and share good news. A lot of my reviews on here have been pretty negative for a lot of the platforms geared toward freelance writers. However, there are two platforms that I still use. I've done a video on constant content. Like I mentioned in that video, how constant content works is you upload articles and people can buy them. They buy the full rights to it. You sell it for whatever price you set it at. However, constant content takes 35% of what you sold it for, so you have to keep that in mind. How I use constant content is like I have like little bursts of where I upload a lot of content. I like to do a lot at once, and then I literally will not touch the platform for a long time, and it's sort of like a passive income in that way, which is probably why I like this platform the most. Actually, the main reason I think I like this platform is I get to write what I want to write about. Although I, of course, do try to upload articles with titles that I think are gonna sell. At the end of the day, I'm not having to read a brief that came from someone, and I'm not having to incorporate their keywords or do anything. Like, I'm literally just writing my own content, and it just feels the most natural and easy to do, so I really like it. Everything here that I'm going to share I wrote between November 16th and December 12th of 2020. I did a burst of about 60 articles. I think it's like 64 was the exact number. Here behind the screen I just went over to, this is where you can see what everyone has sold, so you can get content ideas, and then up here to my sales, and I'm sorting by date, the most recent, and I'm gonna be sharing what I made for January, but I've already made sales in February so far. I'm gonna read through the titles and put them up on the screen so that you guys can get a sense. After that, I'm gonna share tips for why I think these sold, and basically why I thought they would sell, like what was my strategy behind uploading these articles, pricing. Like, I've got different tips to share with you guys. This is an order of what sold for the most to what sold for the least. I made 13 sales in January. The first one is 8 content creation tips to boost your content marketing results. That was 1,450 words and is sold for $155. Second one is 8 content marketing tactics to boost e-commerce sales, and that was 1,270 words. It sold for $150. 6 tips for scouting and hiring high performance remote talent. 10,050 words, and that sold for $110. 7 small business trends for 2020 to know about. That was 1,160 words, and it sold for $110. 6 powerful benefits of content marketing. 830 words, sold for $90. Turmeric essential oil, 7 beauty, health, and mood benefits, 1,150 words, and is sold for $79. 4 innovative revenue models working for startups going into 2021. That was 550 words. It's sold for $55. Homemade frankincense shampoo recipe for dry hair, 600 words, $49. 8 ways to freshen indoor air during winter, 930 words, sold for $39. DIY sugar scrub exfoliator recipe, 400 words, $39. DIY face wash all natural acne fighting recipe, 600 words, $39. And finally, DIY eye natural face toner recipe, 450 words, $29. After constant content took its 35% cut, I made a total of $659.75. As you could kind of tell from the titles, I almost exclusively stick to business and then like health and lifestyle, or health and alternative lifestyle sort of topics. And what I do is I cite sources, and I don't know if I do this in every article, probably not, but a lot of them I just try to cite at least one source and put a little put it as a footnote. And constant content doesn't let you link when in your articles that you upload, but if you take out the http www and just leave it as like where the domain name starts, then you can cite the source. If it's a business article, I try to cite a statistic from like a research company. You can just search like statistics as support, whatever. It's pretty easy. Find at least one, and then like for health, you can go to PubMed to find studies. It's pubmed.gov, and you just use that as a search engine. Type in whatever health topic, like it could be a fitness thing. Usually it's more pharmaceutical on there, so it could be like they have different studies on essential oils or alternative remedies, stuff like that. You could search for a study to back certain things up, like I do that for stuff like the kind of titles you saw here, like for DIY stuff with essential oils. A lot of these DIY stuff that I come up with, like the recipes, it's just it's like 3 or 4 things in the recipe, okay? It's not that hard, just like mixing essential oils, stuff like that. And the thing about citing the sources, the reason why I say to do it is I think it helps because what I do is I mention it every time, like in the little blurb, I say that I cite my source, that I, cited sources. And then I feel that makes them more interested, in the article, like, oh, okay, they cited sources. So I'm like, it can't hurt. They can always delete it if they want. So that's just like my little tip right there. Second tip is try and make your content relevant to the time, and you could see that with my titles. Like one that sold was something about 2021, like small business trends for 2021 to know about. What sold for me especially in December, like I said, I wrote these between November and December. Like in December, I was selling almost exclusively these 2021 articles. They all had 2021 in the titles. Like I just try to take every topic that I know about and say like what you need to know about it for 2021, or what are the trends in this industry for 2021. And that's what I actually did the previous year, and it worked out well, so that's why I did it again. And do that for summer and winter. Like summer and New Year are the biggest ones, definitely. Also, like I guess fall, like getting ready for holidays. And it depends on the industry too, what it fits in with. The whole New Year thing fits in with business a lot because of like new goals, new year, new trends, and so on. So the last tip that I have is to use Copyscape to run it through, because like if you're like me and you've been doing this for a while, like you might start to write like the same topics again and again. Of course, I can't repeat content, like I can't get duplicate content, or I will get in trouble. I don't know, they'll be like, hello, duplicate content. It will not be able to pass on the platform. So you want to, it's not like I'm copying and pasting and then rewording. I'm like, I'm repurposing content. So what you can do is run it through Copyscape, and then like it's gonna pass the plagiarism test. And this goes for any platform you're on or any client you work with, because sometimes like something can be like duplicate content that's already online and you don't even realize like it counts as plagiarism, but you didn't even read that or know about that source. Especially when it comes to like defining really specific topics, and there's so much like already written on the web. It's a good idea to just run it through Copyscape, especially if you're like repurposing old content that's already sold and you're like, okay, well that's sold, let me just write another one. Might sell again. Do that. Another tip is write catchy headlines. I think that's pretty obvious, and that's kind of why I just wanted to share my headlines. I'll try and do this again in the beginning of March and say what sold in February, and we can go through those. This, I think, is going to motivate me to stay up with constant content. I have a lot of different income streams, and I always switch between them. I guess that's the final tip. It's a good place to leave the video, is like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You can make, one month you can make 100, next month you make 1,000. It's like that goes for anything you're doing online, I feel, and I've learned this the hard way in years past. From my experience, it is better to have multiple income streams and focus on building out more of them instead of just focusing on making more money inside of one avenue that's working for you. It's like, don't just grow how much you're making in one place, but like try to add on more income streams. So that's my final tip I'll leave you with. If you want help writing good headlines, check out my video on that, how to write better blog titles. Subscribe if you're new. I'll talk to you in another video. Bye for now.